In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
Hide your cats, hide your dogs, hide your hamsters, hide your gerbils. What the heck did you just watch last night? My name is Billy Harfage, broadcasting from Star Worldwide Networks in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. Well, that was bizarre. That was strange. Some excellent moments for President Trump last night. Some outstanding moments for Kamala Harris last night. She really exceeded everybody's expectations. Here to break it down with me is a woman that's running for United States Senate, Kari Lake. Kari, welcome back. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Good to be back. Glad that the debate is over. I was on pins and needles going into it. And I think looking back at it, that President Trump did a really good job.
Well, Kari, you know me. I call balls and strikes. I call them like I see them. I do think the president was on the defense a lot last night. I do think he did take the bait a lot. But it seemed like 3 versus 1, really. I mean, the moderators were not fact-checking Harris like they were Trump. And it seems like he was getting hit from all different sides. I don't think that ABC was fair.
I agree. And, you know, President Trump's tough. He didn't go into this probably thinking it was going to be fair. It rarely is these days when it comes to Republicans or conservatives. When they go into a general election type debate, you usually have to keep an eye on the moderators because they're out to get you as well. So I'm sure President Trump, you know, he's a tough guy. He's a big boy. He can handle himself. But he was on the defensive because he had 3 people going after him. You know, he probably could have spun things around and put them on the defensive, but with time limitations, it can be a little bit dicey and tricky. At the end of the day, at the end of the debate, I really believe that he did well. And I think that Kamala Harris surprised people in that she didn't crash and burn. Everyone was expecting a lower than low basement performance from the basement candidate. And the fact that she came out and was able to form a couple of cohesive sentences, it bode well for her.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, Kari Lake, I mean, to your point, I think she did do pretty well. She obviously knows how to memorize canned answers. She delivered it. I thought her body language was good, looking at him, and some of the body language movements she had was really good. I thought that she didn't look nervous, and she took it to Donald Trump in a lot of instances. But one thing that upset me, again, to go back to the moderators, is they did not call her out at all. She keeps bringing up this Project 2025. And listen, I'm as confused as everybody else out there. Even the president seemed a little confused. Like, what is Project 2025? I understand some of his former advisors are tied to it, but is that going to stick to keep bringing that up again and again and again, Project 25? I don't even think voters out there really know what it is or care.
I agree with you. I don't think voters know what it is. I don't fully know what it is. I've read maybe a sentence on it in a news story. What I continue to say when somebody brings that up is that's not the president's policy. His policy is called Agenda 47, and it is the most positive pro-America policy I've ever seen. It's really going to get us back on the right track and make life better for all Americans, make life more safe for all of us, and usher in peace and prosperity for decades to come. So, you know, they don't have anything. What do you attack President Trump on except for made up lies that the media has continually fabricated, perpetuated, and continued to throw out in the longest 8-9-year smear campaign against one individual? And I deal with the same thing when it comes to me. I've only been in politics for a few years. I was pretty much universally liked in Arizona before. I've led a really positive, good life, and they don't have any dirt on me. So they continue to make things up when it comes to policy. This is how the modern day Democrat Party, and I wish I didn't have to use the word Democrat because there are good Democrats out there, the old school Democrats from yesteryear, when that party actually used to care about the working class, cared about the American economy, cared about national security. And now the party has been hijacked by far left liberals and, frankly, socialists and Marxists. And they're using the name Democrat when they really need to use the term, as I said, socialist or Marxist.
Well, I'm a political junkie, and I was on all the channels last night and the YouTubes, and I'm looking for debate reaction. And two people that I personally look up to, two people that I personally have met, and I think are one's an incredible man, one's an incredible woman, are Tulsi and RFK. They were both on the networks supporting Donald Trump last night. What a wild world this is.
Isn't this amazing?
It is, because they're Democrat. They're former Democrats. Why is that important for his campaign, number one? And number two, do you think that will start to get more independence under this tent?
Absolutely. I think it's remarkable. And it goes to show you what I think President Trump's been trying to say for a long time and what I'm saying on the campaign trail. This movement is called America First. It's a movement of putting our country and our people first because we've been badly neglected by the political elite for a long time. Our country has been, and the people have been. It's not called Republican First. It's not called Democrat First. It's called America First. And we're realizing, more and more people are realizing this is not really Democrat versus Republican. It is a swampy uniparty of political elites who want to continue to watch the government bureaucracy grow and get bloated out of control versus we the people. And so when Tulsi came in and Tulsi Gabbard has come in and endorsed the president, and RFK Jr., Bobby Kennedy has endorsed the president, this is incredible. They understand this is about making our country great again. As Bobby Kennedy said, making America healthy again. You know, a couple nights ago, I had a wonderful conversation with Bobby Kennedy, and I just told him, thank you so much for really sacrificing what I know to be difficult sacrifice when you walk away from a campaign like that. He's put everything on the line. He cares deeply about our health and making sure our government is not making us less healthy and keeping our government honest. And for him to jump in and say, I got to jump in. We want to help President Trump because he wants to help America. It's incredible. Had a great conversation with him. He's going to be coming to town very soon in the next coming days. And I think he is looking at my campaign with keen interest as well, and how important this campaign is for U.S. Senate to make sure we have the majority in the Senate so that when we go to push this Agenda 47, which is the most powerful and positive agenda for Americans, we've got the support in the Senate where it's going to be needed.
I got to tell you, Kari Lake, that's a little bit of breaking news here on the show. I mean, you just said RFK Jr. is going to be coming out to Arizona and talking to the people. And in all the places that I go, and all the people in my circles, a lot of them truly, Kari, they're independents. A lot of them truly, and I can't believe I'm saying this, however many days out we are from an election, they're not sure if they're voting for Harris or Trump. They're not sure if they're voting for Lake or Gallego. So to all the national pundits out there that think that these races are decided, newsflash, they're not.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The media is on their last gasps, the mainstream media. And right now they're trying to push this agenda that, oh, wow, MAGA's over. Nobody's interested in America first. Trump's not popular. Kerry's not popular. They're trying to push this whole agenda. And then they get the phony polls that they try to back it up with. Here's how you know it's complete garbage. Look how much money Ruben Gallego is continuing to spend on ads. If it was over, if it was game over, lights out for me, he wouldn't be planning $45 million additional dollars in ad spending, nor would Kamala if it was game over and she was going to run away with this. This is still very much in play. I believe that actually we're up by much bigger numbers than people believe, but we're going to keep acting like we're down and running as fast as we can to cross that finish line. And I know President Trump will do the same. And we have the people behind us. That's a very powerful thing when you have we the people behind you, not just big pharma like my opponent has, and the military industrial complex and the media industrial complex and big ag. That's who he's got behind him. We have the people and we have patriots behind us, and I'm really proud of that.
The last two questions for Kari Lake joining us on the program today, Debate Reaction. I can't let you go without asking you about one of the more bizarre moments for President Trump. I mean, Kari, listen, I know you. I've interviewed you a bunch. You're a very intelligent, rational woman. What is this stuff about eating cats, eating dogs, they're eating your pets? Now, there's reports out there. I've looked into this. There are reports. There were some phone calls in Springfield, Ohio about this happening with the Haitian immigrants. But really, on a national stage, when you're trying to get independence into the fold and people that are just trying to look for somebody to vote for, do you want to bring up eating dogs and cats?
Well, it just shows you how crazy the world has become and this country has become. And when you have an immigration system, not an immigration system, a border system where literally anybody can just pour across. And most horrifyingly, when it comes to this population that has been imported by our own government, flown in to a small town in Ohio, you're going to get some problems. And I think it illustrates all of the various problems, whether it's that, which is disturbing. I'm more appalled that we've got children being sexually abused, that we have women being raped and bludgeoned to death, that we have people being taken out by drunk drivers or drug drivers who are here illegally. Anytime a crime or a heinous act is committed by somebody here illegally, you look and say, why are we even allowing this to take place? Why are we putting our own citizens at risk? And why did Joe Biden and Kamala Harris on day one come in and pull back a border that was secure, that was working to keep us safe? And you can guess and hypothesize why. Was it because they wanted to import a bunch of new voters? Was it because they wanted to destabilize our country? Was it all of the above? I don't know their full reasoning behind it, but I do know that American citizens are not as safe as they once were. And apparently pets and animals aren't as safe either in some areas. And so, I'm not going to second guess anything that President Trump said last night. I think that he did a good job holding his own. It was a back alley knife fight, and he emerged getting some very important points out. Most important being, if Kamala Harris is all of a sudden pretending to have the solutions to all of the problems she caused, then why isn't she rolling out those solutions right now, including no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, securing the border? Why isn't she doing it right this second? Why didn't she leave that stage, go back to D.C., and take care of business? It's because she doesn't have the solutions. She's lying about what she's going to do, and we're going to get more of the same, which is going to be 4 more years of abject, horrible policy that will be the end of America.
Well, lastly, Kari Lake, I don't know if you're a Swiftie, if you like her music, whatever, you like the Kansas City Chiefs. She has, at the end of the day, 283 million followers on Instagram. So she puts that out there, post-debate. It was all scheduled. It was probably a scheduled post, beautifully written. She supports Harris Walsh, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. Does anybody care? She's got a lot of followers. She's got a lot of young people. And by the way, someone made a good point to me this morning. A lot of people follow her and love her that are Swifties that are not able to vote yet. They're not of age, but their parents are. Yeah. Does the Taylor Swift endorsement matter? And the reason I ask you is because obviously you're running for United States Senate. And what happens at the top of the ticket? Well, one line down, it could matter for you as well. What are we doing with Taylor Swift here?
Listen, I like her music. I have spent money on her concerts. We've got some Swifties in our house. So I think, and we've got Swifties out there who like President Trump. I think that you can still enjoy her music. It's nice to just escape and put on some music sometimes and let your mind escape politics. She gets 1 vote. Her fans who are old enough will get their own vote. I know that many of her fans will support President Trump. I was just on a college campus a few nights ago. We registered about 100 voters, new voters, who are actually very much about the America First movement because they recognize that their future is either going to be very dark under Kamala Harris and these socialist communist policies, or very bright and full of peace and prosperity under the America First policies. So if you love her music, that's fantastic. You can vote however way you want, and I highly recommend you vote for America First policies so that you will be able to attain the American dream. We'll have a strong economy again, so you can finally afford to go out, including maybe even buying some of her music or buying a T-shirt when you're at one of her concerts or a concert ticket.
I like that. I see what you did there. Very well done. Kari Lake, I always appreciate a freedom of speech conversation with you. Tell your buddy, Ruben, we're getting a lot of views on our reels on Instagram now and so on. Kari comes on the show. Ruben doesn't want to come on the show. This is all about freedom of speech. I don't bite, and I'm very fair, Kari Lake. So tell your buddy, Ruben, when you see him at your debate, come on the Billy Hartfoss show.
Well, you're using the word buddy loosely, but I know why he's not doing it. He only likes controlled settings and doesn't want to be questioned anything that would be outside of somebody who he's controlling the questions for. Which is why in this debate, ironically, coming up in October, he doesn't want to have the Green Party candidate who won fair and square and is going to be on the ticket. It's just amazing, especially with the Democrats telling us the biggest threat to our very existence is the climate. He doesn't want to have the Green Party there, the candidate who won amazingly via write-in, which is quite an amazing feat. So I don't think he's going to come on, Billy, but if I run into him, I'll sure mention it.
You let him know. Very interesting. We can't wait for that debate with you, Kari Lake, and we can't wait to see little breaking news. RFK Jr. back in the state of Arizona. Thank you so much for being on the show. There she is, candidate for United States Senate, Kari Lake. My name is Billy Harfash. Go like, subscribe.